Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In Surah Al-Araf, verses 13 to 16, Allah says, قَالَ فَاهْبِدْ مِنْهَا فَمَا يَكُونُ لَكَ أَن تَتَكَبَّرَ فِيهَا فَاخْرُجْ إِنَّكَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ قَالَ أَنْظِرْنِي إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ قَالَ إِنَّكَ مِنَ الْمُنْظَرِينَ قَالَ فَبِمَا أَغْوَيْتَنِي لَأَقْعُدَنَّ لَهُمْ صِرَاطَكَ الْمُسْتَقِيمَ. And the translation of these verses is, Allah said, descend from paradise, for it is not for you to be arrogant inside. So get out. Indeed, you are of the debased. Shaitan said, reprieve me until the day they are resurrected. Allah said, indeed, you are of those reprieved. Shaitan said, because you have put me in error, I will surely sit in wait for them on your straight path. Now, while talking about zikr, ibadat, having yaqeen in Allah's plan, fighting negativity and trusting Allah, all of these things are very important. It is equally important to have a discussion about our greatest enemy in the world, Iblis. As briefly explained in these verses, when the first man, Adam a.s., was created, the angels and Iblis were told to prostrate to him as a sign of respect. It was an act to accept that insan is Ashraf al-Makhluk, he is the best of Allah's creations, because not only does he have an advanced intellect, he also has a ruh that has been breathed into him by Allah. The angels, of course, prostrated, but Iblis refused. So now let's understand Iblis's mindset. Being a jinn, he is a creation that also has choice. He can choose to worship Allah or he can choose not to. Angels and all other creations in the entire universe do not have choice. They worship Allah because that is how they have been designed. So if a creation is worshipping Allah like the other creations, but he is doing it out of choice, then clearly he has to be superior to the rest. He has the option of doing evil and following his desires, but he is choosing to worship Allah instead. So for Iblis, he considered himself a superior creation over and above the angels and all of us. However, then a new creation comes along that also has choice, and that is insan. And by commanding the act of prostration, Allah wanted Iblis to learn to put aside his ego, his arrogance, his pride, and accept the wisdom in Allah's decision. If Allah is suggesting that insan is superior, then he must be. So if Allah is demanding a prostration, then just do it. Don't ask questions. But Iblis could not accept that Allah knows best. He refused to prostrate, argued with Allah, and was therefore condemned for the hellfire. At that point, he could have apologized. He could have realized his mistake, humbled himself, but he decided to take revenge. So he asked Allah for respite until the day of judgment. He told Allah, don't throw me in Jahannam right now. Give me some time. Give me some time until the day that all of insan will be resurrected. And not only did he ask Allah for respite, he blamed Allah for his downfall, as can be seen in these verses. And then he challenged Allah by stating that he will lie in wait for insan on the right path. That is why he says, Allah, because you have put me in error. Had you not told me to prostrate to Adam, none of this would have happened. So instead of apologizing, he blames Allah and then he challenges Allah that I will wait for insan on the right path. Now please understand this. Iblis is not waiting for you when you choose the path of dunya or when you choose the path of evil. At that point, Iblis's job is already done. He doesn't need to pursue you, attack you with his evil suggestions and whispers. Iblis comes running for you the minute you decide to change yourself to become a better Muslim, to walk the path of Islam, to connect with Allah. That's when he comes for you, because he wants to see you in Jahannam with him. He wants to prove to Allah that insan is not worth my sajda. So at times when you read the Quran, you hear an emotional lecture, your heart melts and you decide to get closer to Allah. In the beginning, you're very passionate and eager, but over time, gradually, you start to lose interest. Strangely, you start to want more of dunya instead of less. So initially you will cut down on movies and music, you will dedicate more time to Hakukullah and Hakukul Ibad, but then after a while you will start to crave music and movies. Islam seems to be too difficult. Negative thoughts will come into your mind and you will start to give less and less time to the Quran, and you will start to complain that you don't feel anything in your heart anymore when you read the Quran. So maybe Allah is angry with you. Maybe He doesn't love you. All these negative and discouraging thoughts come from Iblis. All the temptations of dunya that you have never felt before, but now you really want it, it all comes from Iblis. So the day you decide to walk the path of Islam, remember your enemy is charging towards you. Don't fear him. Be conscious and aware of him. That is when your battle starts. And this is a battle that will go on till your death. Keep reminding yourself who is Ashraful Makhluk. If Allah assigned you as being the best, there has to be a reason for it. Assalamu alaikum.